We know they're just characters in a movie, but when they passed, it hurt. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 saddest movie deaths. For this list, we're taking a look at the most traumatizing, heartbreaking, and gut-wrenching character deaths in major motion pictures.
Dobby?
We weren't really expecting some of these characters to bite the big one, which is what made their deaths that much more agonizing.
And that's all I have to say about that.
And it may be obvious, but spoiler alert.
What does the world expect of you?
Nothing.
Number 10, Trevor McKinney, Pay It Forward.
My God, boys and girls, he's absolutely right. Nothing.
He was the epitome of a good kid. He had a big ol' heart and just wanted to spread some good in the world.
I mean, the world's not exactly shit.
Unfortunately, the world is a rough place, even for 11-year-olds. While trying to follow his own advice by saving his friend from bullies, Trevor ends up facing the business end of a switchblade. Yes, all his good deeds got him was a knife in the gut. But with his death, Trevor brought people together, making his poignant demise even more meaningful.
Walk me through this Good God, man, get out of there!
Number 9, Spock, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. After decades as the rational crew member, Spock made the logical choice to sacrifice himself for the survival of his crew by exposing himself to radiation to repair the ship's warp drive. Fans of the iconic sci-fi series may have been devastated to witness the death of one of their favorite characters, but no one was more wrecked than his longtime bud.
The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one.
Of course, the Enterprise crew gives him a funeral befitting a loyal commanding officer. His coffin is jettisoned into orbit. Number 8, Maggie Fitzgerald, $1 Million Baby.
Can't think of it as a bag.
Everyone knows boxing can be dangerous.
Well, I hate to argue with you, but
Don't argue with me. That's the only way we're doing it.
It can be even more dangerous when there are errant corner stools around to break your neck in a fall. And if the fall doesn't kill you, well, then maybe it'll be the gripping depression.
I'm going to disconnect your air machine. You're going to go to sleep. And I'll give you a shot and you'll stay asleep.
In the end, for Maggie, it turns out to be a lethal dose of adrenaline injected by her loving coach that ends this once enthusiastic boxer's life.
It was enough adrenaline to do the job a few times over.
It's a truly tragic scene that makes it incredibly difficult to mask sobs. Number 7, Thomas J. Sennett, My Girl.
What'd you think of me? For what? What if you don't get to marry Mr. Bixler? I guess.
If movies teach us anything, it's that being a preteen is extremely hazardous. At any moment, you could be looking for your friend's mood ring when you're stung to death by a band of angry hornets. Or that's what happens to Macaulay Culkin's character in this surprisingly upsetting film.
Maybe I should go over and yell at him.
Just when you think he and Veda will start their budding romance, he's felled by vicious insects. But it does bring her closer to her dad.
It's not so bad to be like you.
So Thomas J. did not die in vain.
Listen, I want to do something with my life, all right? I want to be somebody.
Number 6, Ricky Baker, Boys in the Hood.
You anything? Huh? Wait a minute, man. I'm still trying to find out.
John Singleton's portrayal of urban life gave audiences a glimpse into an oftentimes bleak, but occasionally warm existence. As one of the boys who grew up in the hood, Ricky was poised to make it to college on an athletic scholarship, against all odds.
All you have to do is take the SAT test.
But living where he does, with the friends he has, he gets caught between the Crips and the Bloods.
We got a problem here?
And when confronted by vengeful gang members, his life is cut short. It's overwhelmingly sad, particularly considering he'd found a way out.
Ricky! Help me! Help me! Somebody help me!
Number 5. Billy Flynn, the champ.
He's a strong guy, Jackie. He's a strong guy.
It's one of those scenes where you're not even ashamed of the tears flooding your face. In fact, scientists have apparently proven it's the saddest scene ever. In this 70s weep fest, Jon Voight plays a down-on-his-luck former champ who finally fights his way back to the limelight.
Billy, you all right? Billy!
Billy!
All right, get a doctor. Hey, get a goddamn doctor!
Only to die after winning his final match.
You're happy, kid. I won the fight.
The scene with his young son tugging and pleading with his lifeless body is one that will immediately fill you with pathos.
Champ, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Stupid elf! You could have killed me!
Number 4. Dobby, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Dobby has no master. Dobby is a free elf, and Dobby has come to save Harry Potter and his friends.
Poor guy. He'd finally made a life for himself as a free elf, only to be cut down in his prime. He didn't want much other than friendship, and it was in service to his friends that he was struck down by the flying blade of the villainous Bellatrix Lestrange. We're sure he knew the risks, since being a friend of Harry Potter's can prove hazardous to your health.
Such a beautiful place.
But his death on the beach is truly heartbreaking.
Dobby is happy to be with his friend. Number 3. Jenny Curran, Forrest Gump. Despite his upbeat attitude, it wasn't a cheerful ride for Forrest, losing his mother and his buddy Bubba.
I want to go home.
But his saddest loss might be his childhood friend, Jenny.
I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life. She was like an angel.
She was one of the few characters who got Forrest from the beginning, and though her life was fraught with problems, she always found her way back to him. It seemed like their story would end happily.
I love you.
But Jenny sadly succumbs to AIDS, leaving Forrest without the love of his life, but with a son to share his time.
Here, wrote you a letter. And he says, I can't read it. Not supposed to, so I just leave it here for you.
Number 2. E.T. E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Sometimes when aliens land on Earth, they go on a murderous rampage.
He's not gonna hurt you.
Other times, they go on adorable journeys with human children while searching for a way home. Elliot and E.T. form a bond that cannot be explained. So when the wrinkly alien falls ill, his Earthling counterpart gets sick too.
Elliot feels his feelings.
Seeing as how he was the extraterrestrial bud many kids wished for, it's no surprise his death left emotional scars for generations to come.
Is he dead, Mama?
I think so, sweetheart.
Of course, he doesn't stay dead, but the damage was already done. Before we say goodbye to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Jack, there's a boat. Jack.
Mikhail. I'm ready.
I was so scared, but I think it went really well, don't you? Yeah.
Nick? Nick? Do you have anything to say before sentence is carried out?
I'm sorry for what I am.
Number 1. John Coffey, The Green Mile.
Please, boss. Don't put that thing over my face. Don't put me in the dark. I was afraid of the dark.
This character epitomized the notion of the gentle giant.
You go on kill that raping baby killer twice.
John Coffey had healing powers, but unfortunately for him, he was falsely accused of a crime and sentenced to death. We've seen movies with the falsely accused before, but this particular character's death struck a bitter chord with us due to the fierce injustice of it all.
On two.
Pair that with his kindness, grace, and resignation to his fate, and you're not wondering why you can't stop bawling. Do you agree with our list?
Yes, Grill Sergeant!
What do you think was the saddest movie death?
Please don't ask me.
For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.